Hey, this is Lewis from Breakdance, and in this video, I want to show you the powerful form building functionality included with Breakdance. So here you're looking at a beautiful email subscribe form created with Breakdance. Here we have a contact form with some nicely designed custom input styles. Here we have a login form, and here is another contact form. These are all created with Breakdance, no plugins required. There are two main things to know about forms. Forms have fields. So this is an email subscribe form. It has an email field. And Breakdance gives you all the different field types you could want for doing checkboxes, drop downs, dates, times, numbers, text areas, URLs, etc. Forms also have actions. Actions are what happens after the form is submitted. So for this email subscribe form, I'd probably want to set up an action to subscribe the user to my email list. Breakdance has a number of built-in integrations. We have ActiveCampaign. You can run custom JavaScript. You can integrate with ConvertKit, Drip, Discord, Slack. You can send yourself an email. You can send the form data into GetResponse, MailChimp, MailerLite. You can store the submission in the WordPress admin panel. You can control a pop-up. You can send the data anywhere using a webhook. But for this form, I'm just going to choose MailChimp. And then here I could set up my MailChimp configuration and choose what email list this email will be subscribed to. For a contact form, I'd probably want to maybe email myself the form data. So I could choose the email action, and then I could send an email to myself from myself. I could make the from name the name in the form. I can make the reply to the email provided in the form. And in the message, I can include all the fields, or I could customize the message as I wish. In Breakdance, you can get as fancy as you want. You can place forms in pop-ups. So here I have a form builder placed inside of a pop-up. And this form on submit will subscribe the user to my MailChimp list. It will also close the pop-up. Okay, let's go ahead and build a form from scratch with Breakdance. So here I have a blank page I've created in Breakdance, and I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to add a form builder to the page. And the form comes preloaded with 3 fields by default: name, email, and message. You can configure the fields on the left under form. You'll also see actions on the left. By default, it's set to email me, the site admin, the contents of the form, and store the submission in the WordPress admin panel. Let's go ahead and customize this form a little bit. Let's add a phone number field to the form. So I'll just go to add field, and I'm going to call this field phone number. And for the field type, I'm going to go to type, and I'm going to choose phone number. Let's put it right next to email. So I'll drag it up. And if I want to make the field required, I can do so. I can go to advanced, and I can enable required. We'll now get the little required mark. And now let's add some conditional logic to this form. Let's only show the email field if the user wishes to be contacted via email, and only show the phone number field if the user wishes to be contacted with phone number. So I will add another field, and I will call this contact preference. This is going to be a radio field, and I'll call it contact preference. And here's the field. No options yet, so let's add an option. This option is going to be phone. Option value will be phone. This option is going to be email. Option value will be email. And let's select email by default. Now let's move this field right below name. So I'm just going to click and drag it up. And now let's make it so the email field only appears when the email radio option is chosen, and the phone field only appears when the phone radio option is chosen. So to do that, I'll go to email, I'll go to advanced, I'll choose conditional logic, and then I'll choose when field contact preference equals email. And then let's do the same for phone number. So I'll go to phone number, advanced, enable conditional logic, and I'll choose when field contact preference equals phone. And there we go. When email is chosen, email will appear. When phone number is chosen, phone will appear. They're grayed out in the builder just so you can see them, but on the front end, they'll actually work. So let's save this page and take a look on the front end. Let's choose phone. We get a phone number field. Let's choose email. We get an email field. Let's fill out the form. My name is Louis Reingold. My email is louis@sofly.com. And my message is, I love breakdance. Let's submit that. And we can now take a look at that submission in the WordPress admin panel. So to do that, you go to Breakdance, Form Submissions. I'm going to refresh this page to see my new submission. And here we go. Here's my submission. I can see that it's unread, but once I open it up, it'll appear as read. I can see the submitted data. I can see a log of all the actions that ran. I can see some metadata associated with this form submission, and I could delete the submission. I could edit it. I could even go to Breakdance Form Submissions and export all of the submissions on this screen, or by form, or by date, to a CSV file. Breakdance allows you to easily style all the forms on your website globally. This will save you a ton of time and help you build a beautiful website with a consistent look. So on this page, for demonstration purposes, I have a contact form, I have a login form, I have a register form, I have a forgot password form. Sure, I could style these forms individually if I want to, but it'll be much better to go to the global settings and style them all from one place. To do that, I'll click the ... menu and go to Global Settings. From Global Settings, I'll go to Forms, and here I can customize everything about the design of my forms. Let's go to Fields, and for borders, I'm going to give them a 2-pixel solid black border, and you'll notice every single form now has the 2-pixel solid black border. If I want to take off the radius, I can give them a 0-pixel radius. If I want to change the background color, I could change the background color. You see that affects all of the form fields. I'm going to leave it on white, though white is a pretty good idea for form field backgrounds. I can also customize a submit button, the typography, etc. So let's go ahead, just for purposes of demo, customize the typography. I'll use a really obvious font here. We'll choose Antic Slab, and you'll see I've customized the label of all of the fields. Now let's save this and go to the front end of the site. As we can see on this page, all my forms have the global styles, but the real beauty of it is that I have WooCommerce installed on this site, and all of my WooCommerce forms also respect the global styles I just created. As you can see, Antic Slab for the labels and a 2-pixel solid font. If we go to my cart page, you'll see the form fields on my cart page reflect those styles as well. This is a great feature to ensure your site has a consistent look. It will save you a ton of time. Okay, that is a quick overview of the forms functionality included with Breakdance. Go to our YouTube channel and you'll find many more tutorials on doing more advanced things with forms, building custom forms. They'll go into more detail on each part of the forms functionality. This is Louis from Breakdance, and thank you very much for watching.